And if Tyson Fury is as serious as he thinks he is, and he wants to put down his Twitter fingers and put on some gloves and come and fight one of the realest fighters out there that will take on any challenge.
It just shows you how relevant I am in the game and how hungry they are for Achilles to come back. Listen, as far as I'm concerned, I'm happy. I've won everything I've had to do. Listen, my last fight was a clear victory.
Fury, listen, we'll see you in September.
Is it realistic, you think? I mean, it's been 7 years, right?
We'll get it. You'll get it. You'll get it this year.
Tyson Fury's immediate reaction to Anthony Joshua calling him out after Joshua's thunderous knockout of Jake Paul sent shockwaves through the boxing world and instantly reignited one of the most volatile rivalries in modern heavyweight history, because the moment Joshua flattened Paul and stood roaring in the center of the ring, eyes blazing and voice echoing through the arena as he demanded Tyson Fury's name, the narrative flipped from novelty crossover chaos to pure heavyweight legacy warfare.
Tyson Fury is as serious as he thinks he is, and he wants to put down his Twitter fingers and put on some gloves and come and fight one of the realest fighters out there that will take on any challenge. Step in the ring with me next if you're a real bad boy. Don't do all that talking, AJ this, AJ that. Let's see you in the ring and talk with your fists.
And within minutes Fury was already reacting in his unmistakable way, half laughing, half snorting with disdain, firing off comments that blended mockery, challenge, ego, and calculated menace, making it crystal clear that he felt Joshua's call-out was overdue, inevitable, and perfectly timed for maximum chaos. Fury, never one to hide from a microphone or a moment, reportedly smirked when told Joshua had just starched Jake Paul and then pointed directly at him as the next target, responding with,
Give a monkeys about what anyone says, because they sit at home, they're full of negativity. It's like the people that are negative towards someone like Jake Paul. Look at what he's done with his life. Do you know what I mean? So yes, it took AJ a couple of rounds to get hold of him, and then he knocked him spark out and broke his jaw. It was a frustrating 2-3 rounds maybe, because Jake was moving so much, holding, but did well, I thought. I mean, I was impressed with him. I mean, I was more impressed with his toughness, because I think that last shot would have knocked out most heavyweights. I mean, you've got to respect him, because he did what many people wouldn't do, which was get in the ring with him. And, you know, he didn't, I know he run and hold, but he also let his hands go at times. And he was in the firing line, and, you know, we got 6 good rounds in the end of actual work.
Is that how you see it in the end?
Yeah, I actually think it's a positive, because, you know, we could have gone in there and got it all over with 45 seconds. He's done an 8-week camp, and now he's done 6 rounds. He's got something to go back and work on with the team.
A blend of sarcastic praise and sharp dismissal, congratulating Joshua for doing what he was supposed to do, before reminding everyone that knocking out a YouTuber doesn't suddenly rewrite history or erase years of unfinished business between two British giants who have danced around each other for over a decade. Fury's reaction carried the familiar undertone of a man who believes he is the final boss of the heavyweight division, the one Joshua has chased but never quite caught, and he made it.
I'm not gonna disrespect Fury, Gareth.
I want to fight him though, Jack. We want to see you fight him so much.
Exactly. I think I deserve it, the fans deserve it, you deserve it. It's such a shame that the guy decided to retire. He should grow a backbone. You win some, you lose some.
Do you beat him?
Yeah, definitely.
All day long, yeah?
100%. So do you know what day it is today?
Saturday morning.
What comes after?
Clear that while Joshua's win was explosive and crowd-pleasing, the real fight, the only fight that truly matters, is the one Fury claims he has always been ready for. As Fury spoke, there was an edge that suggested Joshua's timing annoyed him just enough to make things personal, because Fury has long framed their rivalry as a mental battle as much as a physical one, and Joshua calling him out on the biggest possible stage after a viral knockout was seen by Fury as a deliberate power move.
By the way, Anthony Joshua put on a show in Miami, taking on Jake Paul in a much-anticipated heavyweight bout, and in the end it was AJ who delivered exactly what we wanted in the end. He stopped Paul in the 6th round to get the victory. I'm just seeing pictures online just now of Jake Paul with a broken jaw. The guy's crazy. He's sticking his tongue out, blood everywhere. He's playing up to the cameras. He's quite the showman. Our very own showman with us this morning out there in Miami is TalkSport's Gareth A. Davies. Good morning, Gareth.
Hi, Gareth.
Good morning, Shaban. Good morning, Tony. A very dramatic night here.
Yeah.
Oscar.
Gareth, I've got to ask you, because obviously he'll be criticised, I think, for sort of running around the ring in the first few rounds. But, boy, I've got to say, this Jake Paul is game as anybody I've seen.
He is very, very bold and very brash and very brave. and he did extraordinarily well to take Anthony Joshua 6 rounds tonight. Yes, he ran around, he was elusive, but then he clinched, and I think he landed about 4 or 5 punches. Arguably, he might have won the first round and another round in there. So he did a brilliant job for his own resume, for his own career. And as you say, he's in hospital right now. He's posting the pictures already on Instagram. The scars of battle, the wounds of battle, the broken jaw, his teeth are rearranged a little bit. He gave it his all, but he wasn't good enough. Kind of what happened, we knew that was going to happen. The gulf in class and experience was extraordinary. And, you know, I've just been with Anthony Joshua, and he said he was actually quite surprised about how elusive Jake was, and he just decided, you know what, I'm going to take my time.
Statement designed to corner him publicly, but Fury responded by flipping the script, saying that he doesn't get pressured, he creates pressure, and that if Joshua wants the Gypsy King, he knows exactly where to find him. Fury's immediate reaction also leaned heavily into his belief that styles make fights, and that while Joshua looked terrifying against Jake Paul, a man with limited boxing pedigree compared to elite heavyweights, Fury would be a completely different nightmare, a taller.
Longer than Francis Ngannou. Francis Ngannou came to fight. That's it. It was like Jake was stuck in 2020 the way he stayed 2 meters away from Joshua at all times. Jake was nowhere near Joshua's range. Nowhere near. Francis was very near. He came to box him. Jake just came in there to survive. That's all it was. He just wanted to see the end bell. He maybe land a lucky overhand right, which he did land a couple. Eventually, when the distance was closed, due to Jake not running, due to him being tired, boom, the knockout came. That's all it was. I don't want to hear people say, oh, he did better than Francis, because he didn't, because Francis was in boxing range, and Jake might as well.
Heavier, more awkward, more unpredictable opponent who doesn't freeze under lights or crumble under expectations, and he emphasized that Joshua has historically struggled against fighters who don't stand still, who don't fight robotically, and who refuse to be intimidated by physique or power. At the same time, Fury didn't shy away from acknowledging the electricity Joshua brought back with that knockout, admitting that the crowd felt alive, the moment felt big, and that boxing benefits when
counted out, knocked out, whatever, however you want to call it. It wasn't a bad knockout. It wasn't an El Sparko. He wasn't rendered unconscious, but he got done. He got it on the chin. He went over. He didn't beat the count. He was sort of up on his feet. But if I'm honest, the whole fight was terrible, wasn't it? It was just so bad. It was just shit, wasn't it? A proper bad fight for AJ. And let me start with AJ. AJ was following him around the ring a little bit, sort of pouring with a jab, putting the jab on the shoulder of Jake Paul, sort of putting him in the corner and not really pulling the trigger on the right hand. He didn't seem to be motivated to go in there and just smash Jake Paul into oblivion in the first 1 or 2 rounds, which I think he could have done. But he's been out of the ring 15 months, a bit slow on his feet, a bit ring rust maybe, and it's hard. When I used to spar novice amateurs, even when I was a world champion pro, if you're not motivated, sometimes you can have a couple of bad rounds and you're sort of looking at your opponent and a jab hits you or right hand hits you. And I think AJ was in a bit of a daze early on, just walking him around, touching the jab on his shoulder, not really pulling the trigger on the right hand. Didn't look like he got out of first gear. Jake Paul was just on pure survival mode from round 1 right through to round 6. I don't know if he's got a moral victory going 6 rounds. Maybe he has. People might give him credit for going 6 rounds. But he got in there and just survived. He just went in there and ran like a chicken from round 1 right through to round 6 when he got splattered. And it's like, it's just, you can't really justify what he's done, because this is supposed to be a professional sanctioned boxing match. And I think it brings the integrity of the sport down when somebody like AJ, who's a 2-time world champion, can't get in there and just completely dismiss somebody like Jake Paul, who I've said for ages can't fight. He's not a professional boxer. It's just AJ following him around, touching him to the shoulder. Round 1 came and went. Round 2 was much of the same, bit slow. I think AJ got caught with an overhand right at one stage, but sometimes when you're out in the rain, you're going to get wet. He was following him around, taking his eye off the ball, probably a bit undermotivated, thinking, what's this guy doing that's in front of me? Jake Paul.
Joshua is violent and confident, but he was quick to add that confidence evaporates when Joshua shares a ring with someone who can talk him out of his game plan and drown him in chaos, which Fury believes is his greatest weapon. The reaction was not just about ego, it was about legacy, because Fury understands that a definitive fight with Joshua would cement his era, silence critics, and close the book on British heavyweight debates once and for all, and he framed Joshua's call-out as proof that
one. Jake was very mobile. I mean, he had the happy feet going. He was circling around the outside of the ring. He was not looking to engage in elongated combinations. He was not looking to stand in the center of the ring with AJ, and people are going to say Jake ran from AJ, and you're right. Because guess why? He absolutely had to. Again, talked about this in the build-up to the fight. He had to be mobile. He had to be on his bike. So yes, you're justified in saying Jake ran from him because he had to. He had to. And anybody that convinced themselves that Jake was going to walk to the center of the ring, stand in the phone booth with AJ, and trade punches until someone laid flat, you were lying to yourself, or you convinced yourself of something you saw in the promo. This was always going to be the way the fight went. I wasn't surprised at all that this is the way that Jake started and pretty much fought the entire time. I was a bit surprised that AJ didn't assert himself earlier. Now, again, it is very hard to hurt someone that doesn't want to engage in a continuous fight. Round one, very much a feeling out process for AJ. Didn't really look like he did much, but Jake didn't either. There was one right hand that AJ landed in the first round that shook Jake up. That's the danger that was coming for Jake the entirety of the fight. The second and third rounds were pretty much the same, a bit of a mixed bag in terms of Jake tried to get on his jab more. He did land some jabs that snapped the head back of AJ and landed some right hands, but this was all calculated risk for AJ as well, because he knew as long as he turned that faucet on and let the water run and let it fill up the sink and never turned the faucet off, that eventually he would drown Jake, right? So every round it was pressure, front foot, front foot, front foot, and AJ strategically breaking down Jake's gas tank. I will say I'm pretty let down by the fact that AJ didn't cut the ring. I was shocked that he didn't go to the body more. I was shocked that he didn't set up his punches more, didn't get his head off the center line more. It was not a great performance from AJ, but at the same time, AJ had just come off a loss. AJ had just come off surgery. I'm not making...
Deep down, Joshua knows the same thing, that no matter how many belts are won or lost, no matter how many knockouts trend online, the shadow of Fury looms over his career. Fury's words also carried an undercurrent of challenge to promoters and broadcasters, implying that if Joshua truly wants the fight, it can be made quickly, without excuses, without delays, without marathon negotiations, suggesting that the only obstacles have ever been fear, money disputes, or timing, and that now, with
things that became a sloppier part of this fight. One of the biggest things that reared its ugly head in this fight was the clinch game from both guys. Early on, Jake implemented a circle, power punch, set up, power punch, feint, clinch if AJ got too close. That quickly became Jake clinching and AJ shoving him down or putting his weight on Jake's back to then try to gas Jake out, make Jake hold his weight, and have the referee separate. That led to Jake, as soon as he felt AJ putting his weight on him or pushing him down, hitting the floor, diving at AJ's knees, and then eventually Jake would go to clinch and immediately fall to the ground on his own. And this became a problem because then it looked intentionally like Jake was going to the ground. There was one time where Jake went to the ground and AJ kept swinging on him. That I didn't like to see, but this was Jake's survival of the fittest moment. This was Darwinism in a boxing ring, right? He had to do whatever he could to just extend the fight and get one more, hope and pray shot, one more step back. He had a great step back uppercut.
Joshua riding momentum and Fury still seeing himself as the king. There is no better moment to pull the trigger. As fans dissected Fury's reaction frame by frame, tone by tone, it became clear that this wasn't just trash talk for clicks, it was a strategic response designed to keep Fury at the center of the conversation while subtly questioning Joshua's credibility, reminding everyone that Fury has beaten champions, dismantled giants, survived knockdowns, and thrived in hostile territory, while Joshua's career has been marked by devastating losses that Fury never lets.
Are those opponents? Is it the Tyson Furies? Is it the people like that you're actually focusing on?
Forget Tyson. I don't like that guy. Forget that.
He's had a lot to say about you in the build-up, especially in the kill comment. Is that frustrating for you? Do you think he's trying to spin your words, the narrative?
In short, yeah. Your opinion, what you live your life by, is irrelevant what I think. And vice versa. Tyson don't need to worry about my opinion. He needs to focus on himself. Tyson's a hater.
Do you care about the opinions going into this fight? The fact that people are talking about tarnishing your legacy and things like that?
Nah, I respect it. As I said, that's for them. I respect their opinion, but I don't live by their standards.
Him forget, Fury also leaned into the psychological warfare by suggesting that Joshua calling him out was a sign of desperation masked as confidence, arguing that Joshua knows the public will never fully crown him unless he goes through Fury, and that the pressure of that knowledge is heavier than any punch. Yet, beneath the bravado, Fury's immediate reaction also revealed something else. A recognition that Joshua's knockout of Jake Paul, while controversial in terms of matchmaking, restored
another elite heavyweight that captures all the attention, which is Tyson Fury. Tyson Fury's been making noises on social media, which is no surprise to all of us, about the fact that the king must return to get his throne. I think he's obviously missed a memo somewhere that he's no longer the king. And people are getting excited by this. Do you expect to see, I mean, we hear various things about Tyson Fury. We hear the fact that he's very content in life. He's not going to get back into a young man's game. Do you expect to see Tyson Fury back in the ring in 2026?
I mean, if the man decides to get back into the ring because of who he was, I believe he will. I also do believe that the AJ fight, Tyson Fury, is still there on the cards. Obviously, I heard, different things in terms of like, the fight might gonna happen in September, might not happen in September. But I do believe he is coming back. If he says that, I do believe he's.
You do believe that?
Yeah, I do believe that.
If he does come back, which we've always felt, Spence, there was likely to be the case, right?
Yeah.
Despite his best protestations. And I did think there was a little bit more substance when he was talking last time, because it was delivered in a more calm, lucid fashion where he talked about, I'm very peaceful in life, I'm very content with who I am, and I think this is a younger man's game. It's not the normal histrionics from Tyson that we normally hear. So it felt like it had more resonance, but he's back round again. Probably because no one's talking about him, so he wants to make sure that everyone is, right? Which is his normal stock in trade. Funny enough, on the eve of a big fight, right? But if he does come back, what do you see the schedule looking like for him?
Yeah, it's an interesting one, isn't it? Because I think he does come back. What does the schedule look like? It will probably be a 2 or 3 fight schedule, and who that first opponent will be someone maybe a lesser caliber, and then he'll be looking at. Alexander Usyk will definitely be in his mind. Anthony Joshua is definitely in his mind, and there could.
Sense of danger to Joshua's image, and Fury understands danger, respects it, and thrives on it, which is why he didn't shut the door on the fight but instead cracked it open just enough to let the world stare inside. The reaction quickly went viral, with fans split between those who saw Fury's response as confident and commanding, and those who sensed deflection, arrogance, or avoidance, fueling endless debate about who really wants the fight more, who needs it more, and who would actually win. Once the bell rings, Fury's reaction also tapped into the broader narrative of boxing reclaiming the spotlight from influencer spectacles, because Joshua's knockout of Jake Paul drew massive attention, and Fury positioned himself as the bridge between viral moments and true championship warfare, essentially saying that if fans enjoyed seeing Paul get knocked out, wait until they see what happens when two real heavyweights finally collide. As hours passed and Fury continued to react through interviews, social clips, and indirect jabs, the tone remained consistent, dismissive yet inviting, mocking yet serious, a masterclass in staying relevant while keeping leverage, and it left no doubt that Joshua's callout had landed exactly where it was meant to, forcing Fury to respond and pushing the sport one step closer to a fight fans have demanded for years. Ultimately, Tyson Fury's immediate reaction to Anthony Joshua calling him out after knocking out Jake Paul wasn't just a response. It was a statement of intent, a reminder of hierarchy, and a spark thrown onto an already burning rivalry, signaling that the road from influencer spectacle to heavyweight history now runs straight through one unavoidable collision, and whether it happens next or later. The tension unleashed in that moment has ensured that the boxing world will not stop talking until Fury and Joshua finally share the ring and settle it once and for all.